So, it seems like you're thinking about setting up a temporary office, right, in central Hong Kong,
Yeah.
and you're curious about short-term rentals, those serviced offices.
Uh-huh.
And you sent over some really, really interesting articles, some great research on the whole
Yeah.
topic, and I gotta say, it
Yeah.
paints a pretty compelling picture.
Right.
Short-term rentals, they seem like they could be a really smart move, especially in a dynamic business hub, like
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
What's fascinating about these rentals is they really cater to the needs of modern businesses.
Yeah,
They offer a unique blend of flexibility and convenience
right.
that you just don't find with those traditional office spaces.
Yeah,
It's not just about avoiding a long-term lease.
right.
It's about having the agility to adapt your workspace as your business evolves.
That makes a lot of sense. And the sources really highlight how this flexibility
Yeah.
can be a game changer, especially for startups.
Right.
Especially those who are just, starting out
Yeah.
and may not need a permanent space just yet.
Exactly. Think about the challenges that startups face.
Yeah.
Limited resources,
Hmm.
uncertain growth. They need to be nimble,
Yeah.
and they have to pivot quickly.
Right.
Short-term rentals address these challenges head on.
Uh-huh.
They provide a professional workspace,
Hmm.
but without the burden of a long-term commitment.
Right.
It lets those startups focus on what matters, which is growing their business.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about the locations that you've been looking at.
Yeah.
Central Hong Kong, it seems to be a really hot spot for these types of rentals.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the specific districts
Yeah.
within Central?
Sure. So you've got Central District itself,
Yeah.
right, which is like the heart of Hong Kong's financial scene.
Mm.
It's a high-energy environment.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by major corporations.
Wow.
There's a real buzz,
Yeah.
If you're looking for a prestigious address and you want to be in the thick of things, Central District is the place to be. But of course, that prime location comes at a price.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at monthly rentals anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, depending on the size and the amenities.
Wow, that's quite a range.
Yeah.
Are there any more affordable options within Central?
Absolutely. Shengwan,
Okay.
it's a fascinating district.
Mhm.
It offers a more eclectic mix
Right.
of old and new. You've got these traditional markets and shops, right alongside trendy cafes and modern workspaces.
Oh, cool.
It's got a really unique vibe.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more affordable in
Okay.
the Central District.
Hmm.
You can find short-term rentals in Shengwan ranging from 3,500 to 8,000 Hong Kong dollars per month.
That sounds pretty cool. I can see why that would be appealing, to startups
Yeah.
and creative businesses.
Sure.
Now, what about Admiralty?
Admiralty. Well, Admiralty's all about corporate chic.
Yeah.
Sleek
Uh,
office buildings,
Uh-huh.
high-end amenities,
Okay.
a more polished business environment.
Right.
It's a popular choice for
Yeah.
those businesses that want a premium address, but without the sky-high prices of Central District.
Mm.
Monthly rentals in Admiralty typically range from 4,500 to 7,000 Hong Kong dollars.
So there's really a range of options, right?
Yeah.
To suit different budgets and
Yeah.
different preferences.
Right.
But before we get too carried away with the glamour of these locations, I
Yeah.
think it's really important to talk about
Yeah.
the cost involved, right?
Yeah.
I know you mentioned some price ranges,
Mm.
but are there any hidden costs?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
While the flexibility is, appealing,
Right.
it's essential to factor in all the potential expenses, before making a decision.
Yeah.
One common misconception
Mhm.
is that the monthly rent covers everything. But that's rarely the case.
So what kind of hidden costs are we talking about here?
So you need to consider things like utility charges,
Right.
which can, fluctuate depending on your usage.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are those maintenance fees,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which cover the general upkeep and repairs of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about additional charges
Yeah.
for those amenities.
Right.
Like printing,
Yeah.
booking meeting rooms,
Right.
even coffee and snacks sometimes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's easy to overlook,
Yeah.
those extra expenses
Sure.
when you're focused,
Yeah.
on the base rent.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to avoid any financial surprises?
Well, the key is to create a comprehensive budget,
Mm.
one that accounts for all the potential costs.
Right.
Start with the base rent,
Mm.
then factor in those estimated utility charges, maintenance fees,
Mm-hmm.
and a buffer for any unexpected expenses.
Yeah.
It's always better to, overestimate than to be caught off guard by those hidden costs.
Right.
And don't be afraid to ask, the rental provider
Yeah.
for a detailed breakdown, all potential charges
Yeah.
before you sign any agreements.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
So let's say, we've got our budget sorted. We're ready to start,
Yes.
looking for the perfect short-term office space.
Okay.
What are the key steps, involved
Yeah.
in finding and securing
Right.
the right place?
So first and foremost, you gotta clearly define your needs, right? What kind of workspace are you looking for?
Right.
Do you need a private office
Mm-hmm.
for focused work?
Yeah.
Or would a shared, co-working space be more suitable?
Right.
How much space do you actually require?
Right.
Once you have a good understanding of your needs,
Mhm.
then you can start researching locations,
Okay.
that align with your budget and your preferences.
So it's all about location.
Location's certainly a major factor,
Yeah.
but it's not the only consideration.
Right.
You also need to think about the type of environment you want to work in.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for a buzzing, collaborative atmosphere?
Yeah.
Or do you prefer a more quiet, focused setting?
Right. Right.
And don't forget those practicalities,
Right.
like access to public transportation,
Right.
amenities,
Mm-hmm.
meeting rooms, high-speed internet,
Yeah.
all that.
Those are all important points.
Yeah.
But with so many
Yeah.
options available,
Yeah.
it can be overwhelming, right?
Sure.
To know where to even begin.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for
Yeah.
navigating this
Mm.
process
Mm.
and finding the right space?
Absolutely. So don't rely solely on online listings
Right.
and virtual tours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make a short list
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
of potential spaces
Yeah.
and schedule in-person visits.
Okay.
Seeing the space firsthand
Yeah.
gives you a much better sense of the layout, the natural light,
Mhm.
the overall vibe.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good fit for your team.
Yeah.
It also allows you to ask questions.
Right.
You can get a feel for the level of service and support
Yeah.
provided by the rental provider.
That makes a lot of sense. Nothing beats,
Yep.
experiencing a space.
In person. And once you've found a place,
Yeah.
that feels right,
Right.
what's
Yeah.
the next step?
Okay, so it's time to talk
Yeah.
lease terms.
Okay.
While those short-term agreements, tend to be more flexible than those traditional long-term leases,
Right.
it's still essential to clarify the details,
Yeah.
before signing anything.
Right.
Pay close attention to the lease duration, the amenities that are included,
Right.
and any potential additional costs.
So it's still important
Mm.
to read the fine print,
Right.
even with the short-term agreement.
Yeah.
Are there any
Mm-hmm.
specific lease terms that we could be particularly mindful of?
Definitely. Pay close attention to that notice period that's
Yeah.
required for terminating the lease.
Right.
Some agreements they might have penalties for early termination.
Oh.
So it's crucial to understand the
Yeah.
terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Also, clarify what's included in the rent.
Right.
Does it cover utilities,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
maintenance,
Yeah.
or are those additional expenses?
Right. Right.
And if you require any specific amenities
Mhm.
like meeting rooms or printing services,
Yeah.
ensure that those are included in the agreement,
Right.
or at least understand the associated charges.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground so far.
Yeah.
The flexibility of short-term rentals,
Mhm.
the importance of budgeting
Uh-huh.
for those hitting costs,
Yeah.
and the steps involved, right?
Yeah.
In finding and securing the right
Yeah.
space. But what what about the perks,
Right. So that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
These serviced offices,
Right.
they often go uh, above and beyond the basics.
Yeah.
They offer a range of amenities
Mm-hmm.
designed to enhance productivity, foster collaboration, and create a seamless work experience.
Right.
We're talking high-speed internet,
Yeah.
state-of-the-art IT support,
Mm-hmm.
fully equipped meeting rooms,
Right.
even professional administrative support.
Wow.
It's like having a mini corporate headquarters, at your fingertips
Yeah.
without the hassle of setting it all up yourself.
Wow. That sounds impressive.
Yeah.
I'm curious to delve a bit deeper,
Okay.
into these amenities
Mm.
and understand how they can benefit businesses.
Okay.
Let's start with technology, and connectivity.
Yeah.
In today's digital world,
Right.
having a reliable internet and IT support
Right.
is non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
So what can you tell us about, the tech infrastructure
Yeah.
typically offered in these short-term rentals?
So these serviced offices, they understand the importance of seamless connectivity, right?
Right.
They typically provide high-speed internet,
Mhm.
robust Wi-Fi throughout the
Yeah,
space,
yeah.
and on-site IT support
Okay.
to address any technical issues
Yeah.
that may arise.
So it's like having your own dedicated IT department.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
take care of the technical infrastructure,
Right.
so you don't have to.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, internet and computers.
Yeah.
Many of these spaces also offer advanced tech amenities,
Okay.
like video conferencing equipment, projectors, smart boards.
Wow.
It makes it easy, to collaborate with colleagues
You're right.
and clients all around the world.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah.
these short-term rentals are really
Yeah.
well equipped, to meet the needs of
Yeah.
of modern businesses.
Yeah.
They are.
But it's not just about, technology, is it?
No.
What about meeting, and conference facilities?
Yeah.
Do these spaces offer options for hosting meetings and events?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They typically have a range of meeting rooms available,
Mm-hmm.
from small huddle rooms for those private discussions
Yeah.
to larger conference spaces, for presentations and workshops.
Right. Right.
And these meeting rooms,
Mm-hmm.
they're usually fully equipped,
Okay.
with everything you need.
Yeah.
Comfortable seating, whiteboards, projectors,
Right.
even video conferencing capabilities.
So you can walk in,
Yeah.
plug in, and
Yeah.
get to business.
Exactly. It's all about
Yeah.
providing that seamless and professional experience.
Right.
And some spaces,
Mm-hmm.
they even offer catering services.
Right.
So you can host catered meetings and events
Wow.
without, having to worry about the logistics.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why these short-term rentals, are becoming so popular.
Yeah.
But there's one more aspect I'd like to explore.
Okay.
Administrative support.
Yep.
You mentioned that some of these spaces offer professional administrative services. So
Sure.
what does that
Yes.
typically include?
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
Many serviced offices, they provide a range of
Yeah.
administrative support services,
Right.
including reception services,
Yeah.
mail handling,
Mm-hmm.
and even secretarial support.
Wow.
It's like having your own personal assistant,
Yeah.
to help with those day-to-day tasks.
Yeah.
Right.
And free up your time.
Yeah.
You can focus on your core business activities.
Wow. That's a huge benefit.
Yeah.
It can be so time consuming,
Right.
to handle all those administrative tasks,
Mhm.
especially for, small businesses or startups
Yeah.
with limited staff.
Sure.
Having that support system in place can make a world of difference.
Exactly. It allows you to delegate tasks,
Right.
streamline your operations,
Mhm.
and ultimately, be more productive.
Yeah.
And in some spaces,
Yeah.
they even offer
Right.
multilingual staff
Yeah. Okay.
for reception and administrative support,
Right.
which can be invaluable, if
Yeah.
you work with international clients or partners.
That's fantastic. It sounds like
Yeah.
these short-term rentals really go above and beyond, right?
They do.
to create a
Yeah.
supportive and
Yeah.
efficient work environment.
Yeah.
But I'm curious,
Yeah.
how do these short-term rentals compare
Yeah.
to those traditional
Yeah.
long-term
Yeah.
leases?
Yeah.
Are there any scenarios where a traditional lease might
Yeah.
be a better option?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
And it's important, to weigh the pros and cons of
Oh,
each option
yeah.
before making a decision.
Mhm.
So while those short-term rentals offer,
Right.
a lot of flexibility and convenience,
Yeah.
they might not be the best fit for every business.
So let's delve into that comparison, right?
Oh,
And see if we can shed some light,
Yeah.
on when a traditional long-term lease
Mhm.
might be a more strategic choice.
Okay, so one key advantage of long-term leases is stability.
Yeah.
You have that fixed rental rate,
Right.
for the duration of the lease,
Right.
which can be really helpful
Yeah.
for budgeting
Mhm.
and financial forecasting.
That makes sense. Having
Yeah.
that predictability can be a huge asset, especially in a
Mhm.
volatile market.
Yep.
Are there any other advantages to consider?
Another benefit
Mhm.
is the ability to customize your space.
Okay.
With a long-term lease,
Right.
you often have more control
Yeah.
over the design and the layout of
Mhm.
your office.
Yeah.
It allows you to create a space
Yeah.
that truly reflects your brand and
Mhm.
your culture.
That's a good point. It can be challenging,
Yeah.
to achieve that level of personalization. Right.
With a short-term
Yeah.
rental. But what about the
Mhm.
flexibility
Yeah.
that
Wow.
that those
Yeah.
short-term rentals, offer?
Mhm.
Isn't that a major advantage?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Short-term rentals provide the agility
Right.
to adapt your workspace as your business evolves,
Mhm.
which can be invaluable for startups or
Right.
those companies experiencing rapid growth.
Mm-hmm.
But there are situations,
Yeah.
where that flexibility might not be as crucial.
Right.
For example, if you're a well-established company,
Right.
you've got a stable workforce
Mm-hmm.
and a predictable growth trajectory.
Right.
The stability of a long-term lease might outweigh
Yeah.
the flexibility of a shorter-term agreement.
That
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all about,
Yeah.
yeah.
Finding the right fit for your specific business, needs and goals.
Right. Right.
And it's important to remember there's
Yeah.
no one size fits all solution,
Right.
The best choice is going to depend on a variety of factors,
Right,
including your budget,
Yeah.
your growth plans, your
Mhm.
industry,
Yeah.
your company culture.
So before we jump to any conclusions,
Sure.
let's take a closer look at the specific scenarios.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
short-term rentals truly shine.
Okay. So one scenario where short-term rentals are particularly advantageous is project-based work,
Right.
Let's say
Yeah.
you're launching a new product.
Right.
Or undertaking a major project, right?
Yeah.
And you need a dedicated workspace,
Yep.
but just for a specific period of time.
Right. Short-term rentals, they allow you to set up that temporary office.
Yeah.
It's fully equipped with everything you need
Yeah.
without the commitment
Okay.
of a long-term lease.
That's a great example. It's like having a pop-up office,
Yeah.
tailored to your project's needs.
Yeah.
Are there any other situations where short-term rentals are a good fit?
They're also an excellent option for
Yeah.
those companies undergoing renovations
Okay.
or relocations.
Right.
If your main office is being renovated,
Yeah.
you can relocate your team to a short-term rental.
Yeah.
Keep those operations running smoothly,
Mm-hmm.
without disrupting your workflow.
That's a smart solution. It eliminates the stress,
That's stressing, you're right.
the disruption, right?
Exactly.
Of trying to work in a construction zone.
Yeah.
Now, what about businesses
Yeah.
looking to expand into new markets?
That's another scenario where
Yeah.
short-term rentals can be a game changer.
Yeah.
They allow you to establish a presence, in a new city or even a new country
Yeah.
without that long-term commitment
Right.
of a traditional lease.
Right.
It's a low-risk way to test the waters, see if the market is a good fit,
Right.
and then decide whether to invest in a more permanent space.
So it's all about having the flexibility,
Yeah.
to adapt and respond to changing market conditions.
Exactly. Short-term rentals, they empower businesses, to be more agile. They can seize opportunities as they arise
Right.
and scale their operations up or down
Yeah.
as needed. It's a new way of thinking about the workplace,
Yeah.
one that embraces flexibility, adaptability,
Right.
and responsiveness.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
about the physical space, right? It's about having the freedom
Yeah.
to adapt
Yeah.
your work environment, right?
Yeah.
To meet those
Yeah.
evolving
Yeah.
business needs.
Precisely. Short-term rentals, they allow businesses to break free, from the constraints
Yeah.
of those traditional office spaces.
Yeah.
They can embrace a more fluid and dynamic approach to work.
Right.
And in a rapidly changing world.
Yeah.
That agility
Yeah.
can be a major competitive advantage.
Okay, so we've explored the allure of flexibility, the importance of budgeting, the steps involved in finding the right space, and those incredible amenities, right? That come with these short-term rentals.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'd like to revisit, the financial aspect.
Okay.
You mentioned that short-term rentals can be more cost-effective, than those traditional leases.
Yeah.
But is that always the case?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So while short-term rentals can be a more cost-effective option in many situations, it's important to do your research and compare prices carefully.
Right.
The cost-effectiveness is going to depend on several factors, including the location, the size of the space, the included amenities, and the duration, of the rental.
So it's not a guaranteed cost saving.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
In some cases, a traditional long-term lease, it might actually be more financially viable.
Yeah.
Especially, if you're looking for a larger space,
right?
Or you require a very specific set of amenities.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all about doing your due diligence,
right,
and making an informed decision.
Yeah.
Based on your specific needs and circumstances.
Exactly. Don't assume that a short-term rental is automatically the cheaper option.
Right.
Take the time to compare those prices.
Yeah.
Consider all the potential costs.
Yeah.
And choose the solution that makes the most financial sense for your business.
Great advice.
Yeah.
So before we move on
Yeah.
to the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we'll explore some additional considerations and potential downsides of short-term rentals.
Okay.
Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned so far.
Sure. So we've discussed the allure of flexibility, right?
Yeah.
That those short-term rentals offer, especially for startups, project-based teams, and those companies undergoing transitions.
Right. We've also emphasized the importance of creating a comprehensive budget. One that accounts for both the base rent and any potential hidden costs.
Yeah. We've outlined the key steps involved in finding and securing the right short-term office space.
Right.
From defining your needs and researching locations to scheduling those in-person visits and negotiating the lease terms.
And we've highlighted the incredible range of amenities that come standard with many of these short-term rentals, including high-speed internet, advanced IT support, fully equipped meeting rooms, even professional administrative support.
Yeah, we've also compared short-term rentals to those traditional long-term leases. Acknowledging that while short-term rentals they offer numerous benefits, there are situations where a traditional lease might be a more strategic choice.
Excellent recap. So to our listener out there, if you're considering setting up a temporary office, in central Hong Kong, short-term rentals, they definitely offer a compelling and dynamic solution.
But as with any business decision, it's crucial to weigh the pros and cons carefully, do your research, and choose the option that the best aligns with your specific business needs and goals.
And with that, we'll wrap up this part of our deep dive. When we come back, we'll delve into some additional considerations and potential downsides of short-term rentals. Providing you with a well-rounded perspective, to help you make an informed decision. Stay tuned. We've covered a lot of ground, in this deep dive into short-term office rentals in Hong Kong. We've discuss the benefits, the costs, the amenities, the potential downsides, and even the social dynamics, of those shared workspaces.
It's been quite a journey. But I think it's important to step back for a second, and look at the bigger picture. What is this trend towards short-term rentals tell us about the future of work?
That's a great question. It seems like this shift towards flexible workspaces. It's a reflection of a larger cultural shift. We're moving away from the traditional 9-to-5 office model and embracing more flexible and adaptable work styles.
Absolutely. Technology has played a huge role, in this transformation with laptops and smartphones and those cloud-based collaboration tools. We're no longer tethered, to a physical desk. We can work from anywhere. Anytime.
And that freedom and that flexibility are really driving the demand, for those workspaces that can accommodate these evolving work styles. Short-term rentals, co-working spaces, virtual offices. They're all part of this growing ecosystem, of flexible workspace solutions.
It's no longer about just having a place to put your desk. It's about creating an environment that supports productivity, collaboration, and innovation.
And that environment can change, depending on the task at hand, the project. Or even the day of the week.
Exactly. Flexibility is key. And short-term rentals, they provide that flexibility, in spades. They allow businesses to adapt, their workspaces as their needs evolve, scaling up or down, as needed.
It's like having a workspace, that can breathe and grow along with your business.
That's a great analogy. And this trend, it's only going to accelerate in the years to come as more companies embrace remote work,
Yeah.
flexible work arrangements,
Right.
distributed teams,
Yeah.
the demand for short-term and on-demand workspaces.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to rise.
It's an exciting time to be
Yeah.
reimagining the traditional workplace and exploring new ways of working.
Yeah.
But with so many options available, it can be overwhelming to know where to start.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to our listener who's considering making the leap to a short-term office rental?
So the most important thing is to do your research.
Right.
Don't just jump into the first attractive offer you see.
Right. Right.
Take the time to define your needs.
Right.
Explore those different providers.
Yeah.
And compare prices and amenities.
Right. We don't want any impulsive decisions, right?
Yeah.
It's about making an informed choice, one that aligns with your business goals and your budget.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid, to ask questions.
Right.
Contact the providers, schedule those tours, and get a feel for the space and the community.
Nothing beats, experiencing a space firsthand. It's the best way to assess, whether it's the right fit for your team and your work style.
And remember, the future of work, it's not about being tied to a desk. It's about creating a work environment that inspires you, that supports your goals, and allows you to thrive.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And with that, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the world of short-term office rentals, in Hong Kong. We hope this has given you, a comprehensive understanding of the benefits, the costs, the considerations, and the exciting possibilities, that this trend presents.
It's been a pleasure exploring this topic with you.
It has.
And to our listener, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this ever-evolving world of work.
And remember, the world is your office.